Paralyzed little girl asks single dad to be her dad at school graduation. What he does next? She couldn't walk. She couldn't stand, but on the most important day of her young life, she had one wish, and it had nothing to do with walking. It had everything to do with love. This is the kind of story that makes you stop scrolling, press your hand to your chest, and remember what really matters in this world. Stay with me, because what this man does next will change the way you see kindness forever. Before we dive in, if stories like this move your heart, please hit that subscribe button right now, and give this video a like. Drop a comment below, and tell us, who is the kindest person you've ever met? We are Heartfelt Moments, and every single week, we bring you true stories that remind you why humanity is still worth believing in. Now, let's go back to a small town in rural Tennessee, where a little girl named Lily Grace first learned that family doesn't always look the way you expect it to. Lily was 6 years old when a car accident changed her life forever. She and her mother were on their way home from a birthday party on a rainy Friday night when another driver ran a red light. The crash was devastating. Lily survived, but the doctors delivered heartbreaking news. Her spinal cord injury was permanent. She would never walk again. Her mother did not survive the accident. Overnight, Lily's world went completely dark. She lost her ability to move. She lost her mom. And she nearly lost her will to smile. Her father, Daniel, had been a quiet man, a carpenter who worked long hours and never asked for much from life. He was not a perfect man. He had struggled with grief and with bills, and with the kind of loneliness that settles into a house after a tragedy. But the moment he looked into his daughter's eyes, in that hospital room, something in him shifted. He made a silent promise. He would be everything she needed, even if he had no idea how. Daniel learned to braid hair from YouTube videos at midnight. He learned which wheelchair fit best through the doorway of their small home, and which ramp angle made it easier for Lily to roll herself into the kitchen. He learned to pack her lunch in a way that she could open it herself with her limited hand strength, because Lily was fiercely independent and hated asking for help. He learned her favorite songs and sang them badly every morning to make her laugh. And she did laugh. Slowly, then more often. The kind of laugh that fills a room and makes strangers smile. But school was hard. Kids can be thoughtless without meaning to be, and Lily noticed the looks. She noticed when group projects were chosen and nobody rushed to partner with the girl in the wheelchair. She noticed when birthday invitations went around the classroom, and somehow one never made it to her desk. She never complained. She just noticed. Daniel noticed too. He showed up. Every field trip, every science fair, every holiday play where Lily had a single line. He was there in the back of the room, usually in his sawdust-covered work clothes, clapping louder than any other parent in the building. The teachers noticed Daniel. The principal noticed him. And so did a boy named Marcus, who sat next to Lily in 2nd grade and thought she was the coolest person in school because she could spin her wheelchair in a perfect circle and knew every dinosaur by its Latin name. Marcus became Lily's best friend, and Marcus's family began to feel like an extension of Lily's own. By the time Lily reached 5th grade, something extraordinary had happened quietly. Without anyone planning it, a small community had formed around this little girl and her father. The other parents saved seats for Daniel at school events. The teachers called him first, not because of problems, but to share good news. Lily had been chosen to give a short speech at the 5th grade graduation ceremony. The night before the ceremony, Lily asked Daniel to sit on the edge of her bed. She had something to say. She had been practicing it for a week, she told him. "Daddy," she said, "will you walk across the stage with me tomorrow? Not to push me, just to be next to me, like a real dad at graduation." Daniel didn't say anything for a long moment. Then he nodded, and he turned his face slightly so she wouldn't see him cry. The next afternoon, the gymnasium was packed. Families filled every folding chair. The principal read names, and one by one, 5th graders crossed the stage in their little blue gowns to accept their certificates. When they called Lily Grace's name, she rolled herself to the base of the ramp. She had insisted on that, and Daniel walked beside her. Not behind her. Beside her. The two of them crossed that stage together in the most ordinary and extraordinary way. The room went quiet for just a moment. Then it erupted. Parents who had never spoken to Daniel wiped their eyes. Teachers hugged each other. Marcus stood on his chair and cheered until his mother pulled him back down. Lily held up her certificate and grinned at the crowd like she owned the whole world. She kind of did. Kindness is not always a grand gesture. Sometimes it's showing up, again and again, in a sawdust-covered shirt. Sometimes it's learning to braid hair at midnight. Sometimes it's simply walking beside someone and letting them know, without a single word, that they are not alone. Lily and Daniel didn't fix everything. Life is still hard. Wheelchairs still get stuck on uneven sidewalks. Grief still shows up uninvited. But they move through the world together, and that changes everything. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to be reminded today. One act of kindness can rewrite someone's entire story. And it might just rewrite yours too. We'll see you next time on Heartfelt Moments, where every story is proof that goodness is still out there, waiting to be found.